Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you again. We all know that Adidas is clearing out the remaining Yeezys that they have in inventory. I have way too many to make one video of all my Yeezys, so I'm just going to break it up into silhouettes. Today I want to get into my collection of Yeezy 700s. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at the Yeezy 700s that I've acquired through the years. Alright, before we get started, this is in no particular order. I just want to give you a quick overview of the shoes, talk about what I like about them, give you a good look at them, and then move on to the next one. Altogether, I think I have about 6 pairs of 700s, and I'm not talking all 700 V1s. This is my 700s, my V2s, MNVNs, all that stuff. Without delay, let's look at the first pair. This is my most recent 700 pickup. This is the triple black 700 MNVN. I just did a review of these because I just picked these up with the most recent batch of drops. I am not a big fan of the MNVN. I think it's mainly just because of the material that they have on the upper. However, I wanted an all black 700, and I actually do like this colorway of the MNVN. I think on feet they almost have like a minimalistic look to them, but they still have that real chunky midsole and all those nice lines in it, so you know it's a 700. I like how low-key the 700 is on the side. That's all reflective, and when the light hits these just right, they really pop in the nighttime. I've actually already worn these, and I just got these a couple days ago. I plan on just treating these like a beater. They are more comfortable than what I expected them to be, and like I said, with that midsole, there's no mistaking that it is a Yeezy 700. Overall, I don't really care for MNVNs, but I think this triple black colorway is a really dope pair. Just in case you're wondering, this is what the tag for that pair looked like. Okay, next up we'll go to a 700 V2. This is the mauve colorway. I've had these for a couple of years now. I got these the first time they released. I don't know if they restocked these at all, but as soon as I saw these in hand, it's really what made me fall in love with the 700 series. Whether it was 700s or 700 V2s, I really didn't have them on my radar until this pair. Once I got these in hand, I was kind of crazy about 700s. Love the colors that we have on here. I have worn these a couple of times, not a whole lot. I will wear a pair once or twice, and then I'll put it back in the box, and then it's almost like it gets to the bottom of the pile and I forget about it. But this is a great looking pair of kicks. It's got little reflective hits through the laces, and then on the side it's got some reflective hits as well. Obviously, being a 700 V2, it has that nice chunky midsole, and I love the way that the gum outsole looks on these things. I just think it complements these colors and this upper really well. I feel like this pair is a little bit different than the rest of the 700 V2s because of the material that they have on the base of these. Really think that this is a slept on pair. I don't know if there's any value to these or not, but I love the way that they look on feet. There's a bunch of different shades of grayish suede overlaid on the top. I just really like the overall design of these, so the mauve 700 V2 is another 700 in my personal collection. And there's a look at that tag if anybody's wondering about it. Okay, and then next up, this is a pair that I've never worn. This was one of the first colorways of the V2 to come out. I think these came out in 2019, but this color was released multiple times. I think we saw this again with this last batch that Adidas was releasing of Yeezys. I think these were available for a minute. They might even still be available, I'm not sure. A lot of why I got this pair is just because I was so happy with the mauve pair. This is a little bit lighter, but it definitely fits that same vibe. The material on the base of these is way different than what it is on the mauves. It's almost more of like a nylon type material or a canvas for the base of these, but again, I just love the style. I love all those really nice premium suede overlays. And this color palette I think is going to be really easy to rock because a lot of the material on this upper is lighter than on the mauve pair. I feel like it makes a lot of the details pop a lot more than what they do on the mauve pair. This is definitely a pair of 700 V2s that I'm keeping in my collection. I don't know that I'll take these off ice until I run the Mauves into the ground, but that's the nice thing about these final Yeezy restocks is you can grab pairs and just kind of put them on a shelf and know that you've got plenty. I probably have enough Adidas Yeezys to last me the rest of my life, but I'm all right with that. I don't mind that at all. A lot like the Mauve pair, the Tephras have a gum outsole on them as well, and I think it's really cool looking. We have that same chunky 700 type midsole, and I'm a big fan of that. I don't know if I could pick one. If I had to pick what was my favorite, it might actually be the Mauves, but the Tephras aren't far behind. And like I said, I like that it's a lighter colorway, and I feel like it does make the details stand out a little bit more on this pair. And there's a look at the tag for the Tephras if anybody is curious. I should also state for most 700s I can go true to size or else go up a half size, and both are equally comfortable. I don't get heel slippage or anything if I go up a half size, so you'll probably see some of these are size 10, some of them are 10.5, but they're all my personal collection. All right, that's 3 down. We're halfway through it. The rest of these are all just Yeezy 700s. I should mention I've had a decent amount of 700 V3s. Ones that come to mind are, I think it was called the Safflower. I think I had the Alvas. I had the Green Glow. I didn't wear all of them. I wore some of them, but they never really grew on me. I just never really liked the way that they looked with my outfits and that sort of thing, so I never hung on to them. I don't really feel a need to add any more 700 V3s or anything like that, just because I don't see myself ever wearing them. All these pairs that I've shown you today are pairs that I plan on hanging on to because I'm either wearing them or I plan on wearing them whenever I beat the other ones up enough. All right, next up we have the Analog 700, and my main reason for grabbing these is just because I wanted to have an all white or a mostly white 700. I know there's several options. I think there's a static 700 V2. I really like the look of that. There's other 700s that have a mostly white upper and they're mostly cream and that kind of stuff. I don't remember the names of all of them. Just like the triple black MNVNs jumped out at me, I really wanted to have a all white 700 in my collection, and I think these things are beautiful. All these different shades just really help to show off all the overlays and all the textures and everything. Much like the other 700s that we've seen, the base of this upper is pretty much just all breathable mesh, but all these overlays are different shades of gray and off-white, and they consist of suede and also some leather, but the material on these things are really premium. They've got those reflective hits in the back. I think people call those teardrops, and then you also have little flashes of reflective on the heel here. But this pair I feel like could almost be dressed up. Like, I feel like I could wear these to a wedding or something like that and get away with it. And I haven't worn these yet, but I definitely plan on getting plenty of wear out of them. I love the way this pair looks. I think 700s are such a cool looking shoe. Just like the other pairs that we've looked at, it has that crazy looking midsole, and I like the contrast of the black tread on the outsole as well. I think that's a pretty cool detail. At some point, I'll take these off ice and throw them on feet. There's the tag for the Analogs if you're wondering about it. All right, so next up we have another 700, and this is the wash orange colorway. I tried so many times to get a retail W of the Wave Runners and never had luck. That is one of those pair of shoes that just has eluded me for as long as I've been trying to get them. However, I really felt like a lot of the colors on this upper reminded me of the Wave Runner. Whenever I got these, I was really excited because I just felt like it was a great alternative to the Wave Runner, and I got them for retail, so I didn't have to break the bank for them. They're still expensive. They're all over 200 bucks. I think most 700s are 260 US dollars. Some of them are 300 US dollars, and that's a lot for a pair of kicks. I love the little pops of color, especially that blue and then that green on the toe box area. Just like that cream pair, it's got really premium feeling overlays of suede, and then you have some leather up there by the eye stays. We have those same reflective hits, and of course that iconic midsole that we get with 700s. I actually really like the fact that this is that bright orange color too. This is a pair that I would not have imagined these colors would go together so well, but they actually work pretty well. I haven't worn these yet because I have another pair of 700s that I'm going to show you next that I've been wearing, and I just kind of kept these as a backup. These have that same tread pattern in a black color, and I just really like that orange hit on the midsole. I think this is a really cool pair of kicks. I'm not even sure if there's any resale value on these or not, but I think if you're looking for a 700 or you want a wave runner type style, but you don't want to break the bank paying resale prices for what wave runners go for, I think this is the best next thing after a wave runner. I think these things are just as cool as can be, and I definitely love this pair of wash orange 700s. And for those who care about it, here's a look at the tag for that pair. And then finally, last but certainly not least, I've worn these a couple of times, but I have done everything within my power to keep them looking brand new. This is a grail status shoe to me. In my opinion, this probably is my favorite Yeezy of all time. It really doesn't need any introduction, but this is the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner. When it comes to iconic Yeezys, I don't know if there is a more iconic Yeezy than this. Of course, the Nike Red Octobers and that kind of thing, but whenever you see this, there is no mistaking this. This style, I feel like, is timeless. It's different than everything else. It's a little bit crazy with those splashes of orange in the midsole and then those crazy colors on the top. Even the contrasting yellow laces pop off of there. But this has got to be one of the coolest pair of shoes ever designed, in my humble opinion. My favorite silhouette of the Yeezy is the 350 V2. However, I think this is my favorite Yeezy of all time, the Wave Runner. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. Let me know what you think of the Wave Runner. Never hit these for retail. Shout out to a local sneaker store called the Fitted Joint. They actually made me a really good trade. I think I traded the DC Crush SB Dunk Lows and then just a GR pair of Dunk Lows for this pair. And the reason why I justified that was because those two pairs combined, I had about $300 into, and these retail for $300. So in my head, I felt like I was basically getting them for retail, if that makes sense. These things look great on feet. They're comfortable. I think these are a size 10, so they are a little bit snug, but it doesn't cause any discomfort or anything. As I said, I can go true to size or a half size up, but I just love the style of these. I will be trying to get a double up of this pair because this is absolutely a pair that I wouldn't mind keeping a fresh pair on ice, and then I could wear these without being nervous about it. But I just love these things so much. The style of these is unmistakable, and there's nothing else like it. Yeezy Wave Runner is my final pair of 700s in my collection for now. Will I grab any more in these last drops? Maybe. If I'm being honest though, this is probably enough to last me the rest of my life. So even if I do strike out on the rest of them, I ain't going to be too mad about it. And lastly, there's a look at that tag for anyone that's interested. All right, so that was my entire collection of Yeezy 700s. I'll probably do a collection video of my 350 V2s. The day I'm recording this, the Pirate Black V1s dropped, and I struck out on them. I have never hit a Turtle Dove, and I have never hit a Pirate Black for retail. But I do have a pile of 350 V2s, so I think that's going to be the next video. I think after that, I'll do a collection of my foam runners and my slides, and then the last video I do will probably just be a hodgepodge. It'll be like everything else. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. It definitely helps. I appreciate all the support. Let me know what your favorite 700 is. Let me know if there's any 700s you picked up recently with this last couple of drops, and I will catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.